Hey, what's up, guys? How are you? It's Ed here. We're going to start here in literally 30 seconds, just getting everything on. Why don't we start off by telling me where you're from and your name and what's one thing you want to get out of this training today. I will do my best. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to fly through my presentation, walking you through exactly showing you about 3 to 5 different funnels. And so there's actually 5 different ways to get health buyers, supplements, all those different things. You'll get, I'll walk you through it. It's going to be fast. You got to stay with me. And the last few days we've been doing these, people are loving them. We're getting hundreds of people on every training. And let me share my screen and we will rock and roll. You can ask questions as we go. Please do so. The last couple of days, people have said, hey, slow down. You were on a webinar where you're going to be getting 9 years of experience in a very fast, rapid time frame. So it's very hard to slow down when I'm trying to get it all in and show you guys some different things. So, let's see here. Who we got? We got, what's up, Brian? Hey, awesome. Great stuff. Trav, what's up, dude? Working on superfood stuff. Awesome. Dana Brown, how you doing? Matt Riley from Denver. Sounds great. And let's see here. We got Robert. What's up, Robert? What's up, Bob? David Glass, you're back again, man. Coming to all these free trainings. David, ready to get after it. What's up, Daniel Carter? How you doing, man? All right. So we're gonna get cranking along here. Let's see here. We got view and presenter role. Now, all right, hold on. What's up, Matt from Oklahoma City? All right, let's do that. All right, here we go. Boom. Screen. All right, guys, let's rock and roll. Let's go. All right, make sure you have a pen, paper, take notes. Today, we're going to go over the #1 shift that has allowed me to sell well over $700,000, $700,000, 700,000 bottles of supplements and foods and info products. And then prior to that, my 9 years prior to that, I did well over $50 million selling info products and marketing, coaching, and training and stuff like that. So I have a wide, vast of experience in both those markets. This is not, this is definitely for anyone who makes a living right now from selling supplements, foods, powders, drinks, or even info products in the fitness or health space or nutrition or something like that. This is what it's customized for. So if you can, go ahead and post in there, what category of that are you or looking to get into or invest in? Because what I found is that we're usually seeing people that are either brand new, they're starting out and they're looking to find their market, which is totally cool by me, or they're in one of these categories and they're looking for a proven online customer acquisition system. We got some comments coming in. Supplements, vitamins, sports supplements, awesome. From Australia, info products, trainings, awesome. Combination of all of them. So subs, this is great. And we'd like to have a proven online customer acquisition plan that actually works, that's not so complicated, okay? Whether you're selling these products on Facebook, which is fantastic, YouTube, which is fantastic, Google, email, social marketing, or native advertising, in the next 60 minutes, my main goal here is to promise to share with you what I believe to be the most effortless path to doing exactly that, getting a flood of healthy health customers predictably and automatically without guesswork and confusion. See, if you want to make a real impact, because we get customers that, oh, Ed, I want to create the best product in the world, I want to make a massive impact, and I want to do all these cool things. The reality is despite what anyone has told you, you must be able to predictably generate customers and make a healthy profit off of it. So like myself, you get to get paid ridiculously well. Your products are viewed as the ultimate authority while, and most importantly, you escape the time for money trap, because that is where freedom comes in. So my promise to you is that you're going to get minimum 3 simple customer attraction strategies today, plus massive distinctions that we use in our businesses, the ones that we're using right now in the food business, in the mentoring business, and our clients are using to easily make 6 to 7 figures a year. And for some clients and some of you, that it will be a monthly reality. And these are working right now. So the only thing I challenge you with is just, to give your attention to this training and to this presentation. There's an old phrase that says, a wise person knows the difference between investing in an hour, 1 hour, intensely focused, that can transform the entire course of your life, while a fool half-heartedly invests thousands of hours and wonders why nothing has changed. I mean, I meet seminar hoppers every day. Every time I go to seminars, I rarely go to them anymore for this exact reason. Is you meet people that go from mastermind to mastermind to mastermind. They learn tactic after tactic, yet they never master one thing. And so they are the people that essentially are struggling the most. So if this sounds anything like you, just kind of bear with me here for a second. Do you want a roadmap to earning more, escaping the roller coaster income trap, and while making a massive impact? Do you ever feel like you're guessing as to what actually works? Like, what's the best way to get a consistent flood of profitable customers practically on autopilot for your business? Do you see people in your industry? This is so common in the health, fitness, and nutrition businesses, especially, who are less qualified or less intelligent, yet they seem to be making a lot more money than you more easily, and you can't seem to figure out the best path for yourself. Do you ever feel sometimes the pressure or confusion by all the conflicting advice that you do, all these things that you don't like doing, like, or aren't good at, to get where you want to be? Like, oh, I'll just do social, I got to post X amount of times a day, I got to do this, I can do that. They got all these different things. But the reality is that this really causes, for most of you, that we're working too hard, we're too stressed out, we're getting burned out, we don't have enough time in the day, and we're not spending enough time with our families, working on our health, doing the fun things that we want to do, so that we're actually doing the thing that these businesses were supposed to give us, which is freedom. And do you ever feel like you were meant for something bigger? This is something that I've always had in the back of my head. Like, with each business I've started, after a certain while, I started a lot of them just because, honestly, I needed to make money. I needed to figure out how to do marketing, how to help people through marketing, how to sell products through marketing. But the reality is that some of the projects we're working on right now really have so much meaning behind them because they're making a massive impact. And so if you feel like you were meant for something bigger, and it's not happening, then stick with this. Now, the good news is, the reason I know the answers to all these questions, and I've said yes to every one of those questions, and as an entrepreneur, things change all the time. It's because I've experienced these problems, challenges, and because literally I've lived all these. So if you are an entrepreneur, you are going to be consistently dealing with new problems, okay? That should not be something that is a surprise to you. But what's scary sometimes is that the real problem really is, for most people, is that if you do not have a consistent, if you don't have a system, a marketing system that is consistently and predictably giving you a steady stream of profitable customers on a daily basis that's working for you yet, then you don't have a real business. And so all those things get compounded, right? So once you have this, though, you'll have a complete control over who you work with, the amount of money that you ask, the amount of customers you generate on a daily basis, what you sell them, and the prices you command. You can generate the income you want and the customers you want by using marketing that is 100% proven, instead of trying to do patchwork or guesswork. And the reality is, this establishes you, your product, your brand as the ultimate authority, which lowers the difficulty of selling to people in your market and adds massive value to your audiences. You'll realize that with the so-called invisible ceiling on your income was really never even there to begin with. And you'll hit your goals much, much faster than you ever thought possible, without having to make all the mistakes that I had made. I mean, literally, I'm going to tell some horror stories in this, but like, it's costing me hundreds of thousands of dollars. But even worse than all the money is the time that it sucked up. And even better, you'll tap back into that kind of crazy excitement and joy and youthful feeling that a lot of entrepreneurs seem to have, that quite frankly, people that are trading time for money, they don't have that. They have a structured day. They're going to go do their day. It's going to be the same thing as yesterday. It's like Groundhog's Day over and over again. And what we have an advantage for us entrepreneurs is that by learning new skill sets and by learning new systems, we're able to build out leverage points in our life that completely escape the time for money trap. So, you know, while there's many different systems and strategies and funnels that I'll show you, there's really one core system that has many iterations on it. And I'll tell you exactly what it is right now. So if you got a pen and paper, it's pretty simple. It's number one, we're gonna identify a really hyper, rapidly responsive market or a white space market within a market. And I'll explain this more as we go on when identifying the market. But number one, you've gotta understand people's pain and problem. That's the biggest first thing that we're gonna do. Number two, you gotta have a solution for that, okay? And so product, foods, info products. We have clients that are doing boot camps. They're doing different ways to help clients through info products, right? And supplements, obviously, because most of you who've come out in this have come in through supplements. But those are the things that we do. Now, you need to know how to have a automated, predictable customer acquisition system, okay? This involves 3 things, okay? You ready for it? Let's write it down. Number one, you need a really good sales process online. I'm gonna show you a couple examples of that today. Number 2 is you need to know how to create ads, primarily Facebook ads, and we'll show you some different ads there as well, but we'll probably just show mostly Facebook video ads or ads today because those are really simple examples. You can get started so quickly. And despite some people saying, oh, Facebook's changing their algorithms, well, guess what, folks? They're gonna be changing their algorithms all the time. The one thing I know about Facebook is they will happily take your dollars and allow you to serve your ads to an audience. I'm not worried about any of that stuff. And number 3, you need to know how to get the most amount of money per customer. It's really that simple. It's really, really that simple. That is it, right? We go find a hungry market, we have a great solution for it, and then we have a 3-step process that makes money for us and serves the client, the ultimate win-win. So we're gonna go into this, but I'm gonna walk you through all this exactly and how to make it happen. And like for some of you who are already live, you're gonna get distinctions out of the next, 45 minutes that you can apply to your business right away. And for some of you that are brand new, some people always ask me like, well, is what you teach too early? Well, gosh, you know, if someone was like me 9 years ago when I got into this business teaching these systems, I wouldn't have made all the mistakes I made. There wasn't anyone, okay? So now the only thing I'm want to walk through really quickly before we dive in is I'm assuming you know me because you're on my list or you're probably seen our webinar ads or you bought my books or whatever, anything like that. But let me tell you briefly so that you kind of get where I'm coming from. Who am I? Well, I always lead this. I'm a father of 7 kids, all under the age of 13. It's the joy of my life. It's everything that, that is you ask me my why, that's my why, man. It's exciting. I love my children. And it's amazing. It's amazing being a dad and getting to do all these things. And when I was younger as an entrepreneur, I fell in love with this type of marketing because I knew that one day I was going to want to have a family. I didn't know how many children I was going to have, but I knew that I wanted time leverage. And so the first time anyone ever told me that, I was like, oh, wow, you can actually automate ads, your marketing, and you can have, whether it's one sale a day or 100 sales a day, it's pretty much the same amount of work. It's just a matter of leveraging that system. I was sold. I was like, I'll do whatever it takes to make this happen. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And that's kind of what I've made a living, a very nice living doing this, and helped a lot of people. And I'll tell you a little more about it. I'm an author. I'll tell you about the book in a second. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Right now I have 3 projects going on. One's a media company. One's which serves and generates customers for No Foods, which is a company I'll tell you about in a second, gluten-free, grain-free, all that amazing stuff. We have a supplement company that generates sales every day for baby boomers and seniors. We have a new business that I'm doing in the country music business. And then I have a coaching club. Those are my 4, oh God, I just have 4 businesses, don't I? But I'm a serial entrepreneur. I work best doing multiple things. It's exciting for me. It allows me to leverage myself. I have good team people around me. And I'm also an investor. I'll tell you about it in a second. And I'm an athlete. This is me down here. If you can see that, I don't know if you can see that, but right down here, that's me right there. This was probably about 30 something hours in at Kokoro Camp, which is the Navy SEAL, mini Navy SEAL Hell Week experience for civilians. And it was a 52-hour thing. I did that a couple years ago at the age of 40. It's pretty awesome stuff. And I'm still a volleyball coach. I still coach. It's amazing. All right. So, but my specialty has become primarily designing highly leveraged online customer acquisition systems. So that goes all the way from identifying the target market, the ad, creating all the ads, all the way through the sales process, and then teaching my clients and even my teams how to build pathways for your customers. Because you'll see in this training today, we talk a lot about the customer journey, not just the are we getting a conversion rate. So that's really different than a lot of people out there right now as teachers. And I do this primarily for the health, fitness, and nutrition business. Why? Because I've been in this for 9 years. This is what I do for a living. I'm very, very familiar with everything that's working in the space. And I love working with entrepreneurs who want to make a greater impact while making great money. Now, if you don't get this, this is the secret to enjoying true freedom and life, okay? This was the secret that allowed me to take a brand new formulation, Marine D3, about eight and a half years ago, close to 9. I went into this market, I hired a doctor, I hired a consultant, I did all, it cost me a lot of money to get started. And we went into direct mail at first. Did that for about 8 to 9 months, and then I segued to online. This was before Facebook was even an option or any of these social platforms or native advertising. And it took me about a year of testing, tweaking to figure out how to make money online with it. But since then, and during that time, we've sold and accumulated over 700,000 bottles of just Marine D3, plus, you know, hundreds of thousands of other products in our system, and generated millions, tens and tens of millions of dollars, and continue to make sales daily, continue to coach clients that are doing 6 figures a month, and some that are doing 7 figures a month, and then some that are trying to disrupt billion-dollar industries. So it's really, really exciting. And I did all of this without any experience in the field. I did have some direct response marketing background for full awareness. Now, I'm also an author. So I created this book called Time Collapsing: The New Art of Speed, Money, Power, and Meaning. It was kind of a book written for my kids and for like the success plan that I wanted them to have an opportunity to experience. If anything ever happened to me, this is the book that I was like, hey, look, you can read this book and it's going to show you everything you need to know. I did try newspaper ads, Drew. I'll discuss that in a few minutes. I didn't try newspaper ads. We spent millions of dollars on newspaper ads, so we did that as well. So, and I would not touch newspaper ads at all today, at all. So I'm not going to go too deep in that. I can do it on the Q&A. But this is a book. If you want it, you could go to timecollapsing.com, pay shipping and handling, and you get it for free. And then I'm an investor, advisor, and online strategist for No Foods, which is a company that has a goal to absolutely disrupt the food market with great tasting, gluten-free, wheat-free, peanut-free, dairy-free, non-GMO breads, wraps, muffins, waffles. The waffles are crazy out of this world. They have chocolate chips. They have the healthiest chocolate chips on the planet, research-based. And this has, it's a food that has near 0 glycemic index, meaning people have actually done before and I got to get the slide for this because we do it in our ads for No Foods, but like they've actually, people with type 1, type 2 diabetes have actually measured their glucose, taken the, eaten like waffles, and then measured their glucose or their cookies, and it does not spike. It does not spike. There's something about the sweetener that they have discovered that they use in all this product that's so natural and so amazing that it's the healthiest sweetener on the planet. And I think they bought out the world's supply and inventory. So don't quote me on all that. Yes, it is it's great for keto. Yes, it is keto. They do a ton of, it's good for keto. It's good for paleo. It's good for low carb. It's good for celiac disease, gluten, weight loss. I mean, everything, like, right? So everything that I'm teaching in these things, we're creating marketing campaigns right now for them. Some are working extraordinarily well, and we haven't even scratched the surface. So it's pretty exciting stuff on our end. So here's the #1 shift that made all the difference before we go into actual examples, is that before I give you the shift and the system on how to generate literally customers at will, I'm making a big assumption. Your goal has to be to create something awesome while making a ton of money, impact, and having a wealthy life. If you do that, and if you're actually coming to the table with, Ed, I want to do something incredible, then it's very easy to make money for you. It's very, very easy to show you how to go get customers, okay? It's very, very easy. If you're not doing that, if you're just creating another Me Too product or crappy product, or you're just trying to get out there with a horrible, there's great people, there's experts all the time that don't know how to market. There's people with great products that don't know how to market. You can take my training, go find somebody like that, partner on it, and utilize great assets rather than trying to sell crap, okay? We are in the transparency day and age. You cannot get away with selling crap to people. And why would you? You know? So shift #1, Poor people spend time making money while wealthy people invest in assets that produce money without asking for more time. So traditional wealth advice that most of the people that we're around get hammered into is make money, get taxed, invest that money into a portfolio that someone else manages that might generate 8 to 10% over the next 40 years, because that has been proven in the last 100 years. And you're going to wake up 30 years down the road and you're going to have money. Okay? It's not a horrible strategy, but it's very, it gives up. Like if you're looking at where are you going to invest your money, I always tell people to invest in education and systems rather than just the stock market, which is, going to take so much longer. It gives up control, it gives up power, it gives up spending power, it gives up life freedom, and it gives up time freedom, okay? In my opinion, being a direct response marketer, entrepreneur, online marketer, the asset that I'm talking about is your ability to turn $1 into $2 and $5 over and over and over again. Now, it's very rare, just so you're very, very clear on this. I'm not claiming, oh, you're going to spend $1 on Facebook and make $2 back. Could that happen? Sure. We're very happy with spending $1 and making $1.30 back. Okay, covers our costs on our spend, and then we have a customer that we can then remarket to over and over and over again in the customer journey. That's how you turn $1 into $5. Make sense? If that makes sense, say yes in the comments, please. Okay. So the key here is that you get paid while you grow a profitable, fun, amazing business that allows you to make an impact. Okay. And now I got to put one more thing here is that you could take this and then you go invest in the slower, conservative, longer term strategies. But this is number one, in my opinion. The assets I speak about are, and for us marketers, is creating a profitable online customer acquisition process. Like if I had a gun to my head and they said, Ed, you got to generate $100,000 in the next 30 days, net profit, you got to do it or we're going to kill you. The one thing I would focus on, the only thing I would focus on is creating a customer acquisition process to a hungry market that serves them with a great product. That's it. That's it. That is the gun to the head thing. Okay. So no matter what you're selling, whether it's supplements, foods, ebooks, seminars, coaching courses, even consulting, like 'cause I'm a consultant, I have a coaching course, we sell foods, we sell supplements, we sell ebooks, we sell hard books. I mean, this is really my life. There's only so many ways to do it. There's like 6 different ways that I've identified. There might be a little more. There's iterations on all of them, but the one key is that you got to shift from this old model of thinking to a new model. And I'll kind of walk through it real quick. Here's the new model. The new model is that the old day and age, nobody really knew who you were. Like, so businesses that you used to see could do old school marketing, like Gary Halbert style marketing. That's some of that still works. But here's the deal. If you combine that with adding in experts, specialists, celebrity levels in the social platforms, boom, it's so much easier to make money because here's the deal. People get interested in something, they get distracted. They then see a retargeting ad. They then go search it on Google. They'll go do all these other things, and then they come back and buy. The higher up the ladder that you have celebrities involved, specialists involved. I should show, one of the screenshots I should show is for No Foods, Joe Rogan. How many know Joe Rogan? Yes, Joe Rogan, famous podcaster, has mentioned No Foods 3 times in the last, I think, 6 weeks. I get PM'd every day. Hey, did you hear Joe Rogan say this about No Foods? Did you hear Joe Rogan say this about No Foods? Why? Because Joe Rogan is a celebrity, right? So people get geeked up and into that stuff. Why is influencer marketing taking off? Well, because those people are in their little categories, they're celebrities. So you're going to see some of the ads that I'm going to show you today, and they are in this more of the how do you position your product, your business as a specialist and celebrity. One of our clients, I just got to put this example in this presentation, is Brooks Briz. He runs a intermittent fasting smoothie. I think it's amazing stuff. They have powders. They're killing it. They're doing great. It's a phenomenal product. I take their product. And they have the guy from Breaking Bad on one of their things, right? And he's speaking. He's talking about trying to lose weight for his acting gig. It's really amazing. So anyhow, we move from like old school marketing positions, products is general, like maybe expert, maybe generalist, but the sales copy had to be so strong to make those things work. Nowadays, if you can position your product from like a celebrity type angle or specialist or even expert level, you go up the level of income. Okay, does that make sense? So the higher we go up, the more easily it is to make money. And grab that. So 4 pillars of your business that we need to have. Number 1, and then we'll go into examples right here. A profitable new customer generation machine selling a product people love to a rapidly hungry, hyper-responsive market. How many times have I already said this presentation? I think I've said it 3 or 4 times already. Why? Because if you don't have this part, then all the other marketing that I teach you is never going to work. That is preferably growing, and I'm talking about the market. So when I analyze markets, and I teach this to all my clients, is that when we look at markets and you're like, hey, Ed, what market should I go into? And you're like, hey, should I go in to the Tamir? Should I sell Tamir? I'm like, that's not a market, right? So I always go like, well, who's your market? What's the problem? Is that problem and that market a growing product? Is it trending up? And can you solve a problem that's unique in that space? And if the answer is yes, then we just got to go do it. So here's a couple different ways. I'm going to walk you through these things. Feel free to ask questions as I go. But one of the key ways that we sold products, such a large portion of these guys, is pain the best target? Yeah, man, I go after pain, and I mean, you can go after hobbies and stuff, but inside hobbies like keto, paleo, low carb, they have different types of pains. You just got to identify them. Like so much was the complexity, the confusion, the difficulty, not the ease. So you got to identify pains for people, and just, man, we go into this hardcore because once you understand people's pains, all you gotta do is create Facebook video ads that help them with the pains. And then the amount of, you'll see examples of this in this training. So let me keep going. So video sales letter for health supplement offers. This still works today. So what we did is we would, through affiliates and advertisers, they drive it to a video sales letter, just like the one you're looking at right here. By the way, someone asked me, this is not the homepage, by the way. This is we have a lander, excuse me, for this. But we would just send them here. Now, one big distinction I want to share right out of the gate was that what dramatically increased our conversion rates is we niched down. So when I was doing the research on my product, which I do research, I do the old school research, look at all the articles, I find out the ingredients, I look in the ingredients, I look at the clinical studies. I like to know what every angle I can go after a story. Was that the moment I moved from being more of an anti-aging supplement to a supplement that supported people with high blood pressure to have healthy blood pressure, our conversion rates immediately jumped by 30 to 40%. That's huge online, guys. It's huge. And so if you can solve a bigger pain or take your product and niche it even down even more, then that's phenomenal. So our funnel flow went this: if people are trying to exit out, we'd say, wait, you sure you don't want to stop watching? Oh, I want to miss on the visit. I prefer to read the transcript of the presentation. So then we take them to an exit page, or I want to keep watching, and then, or they just exit out. So we send it to this order page. Now this order page, I'll just give you a quick tip. You always pre-check the one that has the highest, it's like the best value, best deal. And I'll show you a couple other examples too. But for us, it was the 4 bottle. And when we went through this was really crazy. It's something worth writing down too right now, is that when we went to this, previously I was selling products for like $39.95, 2 bottles for like $79.95, and then 4 bottles or 6 bottles for like $1.49. Like 149 bucks. And then a media buyer said to me one time, he goes, hey, Ed, you know, there's guys in the golf market you should look at. They're selling products for like 79 or 60, 67, $69. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I went and I found the product, reverse engineered it. It's one of the secrets I teach. And I found out this was their pricing structure. So I modeled the pricing structure, and guess what happened? By niching, my conversion rate jumped. By changing my pricing structure, guess what? My average transaction size jumped a lot. Now, I'll tell you one more secret that will blow you away here. Oh, here's one more quick distinction. Whenever you do 2 bottle, 1 bottles, when they click on those buttons, the page should change, okay? Because look at the value. You see all this value here. You see, oh, wow, I'm getting this savings. Oh, I'm getting this savings. And then, oh, I'm getting this, and I'm saving this. Well, that should be shown. And so when you go to the 2 bottle, they see this. Oh, I'm only saving 160 bucks, not $360, and I'm being paid more. But it's still a savings. If they go to the 1 bottle, they lose free shipping. They're only saving $73. There's all those types of things. So make sure you show that, okay? And then here was what was really cool. We did this thing. So before I made some of these changes, our average transaction size was 130 bucks. Okay, it's very typical. Many of you that are probably in marketing right now doing it, your probably average transaction size is probably between 130 $150. So what I'm sharing in this little training for free is going to, if you just follow what I'm going to tell you, you're going to make 100 bucks more per sale. Now watch this. So what I did was, after researching all these more like the golf funnel, a couple other things, they were offering these big tickets, like 8 more bottles after they already bought 4 bottles. I was like, who in the world would do that? Like, who would pay for 4 bottles and then buy 8 more bottles right away of the same exact thing? What are they gonna do, like drink supplements every single day? Well, here's what's crazy about it, is that we found out about 20 to 25% of the people were taking the upgrade offer. So our average transaction size went from $130 to price change, jumped it up, and then adding the upsell, we were able to go to $230 to $250 per sale. And then we had all these other upsell sequences. Pretty amazing stuff, right, guys? So this is exciting as crap. I mean, like, it changed my business, changed my life. I mean, I'll be totally honest with you, is that before I made these changes, before I niched down, before I changed the pricing, and before I changed the upsells, I literally, this is like one of the most heart-wrenching stories, is I literally was on the phone with my CFO, and he said to me, "You're running out of cash. You need to fix this or you're going to be out of money in less than a month." And I didn't understand that, because I was making like 100 sales a day. My revenue was going up. I was like at 180,000 a month online, but I was losing money. Like, cause I was at 130, because think about it. Like, if your average sales around 130 bucks and you're only generating revenue of 130 bucks, but my cost of goods sold was around 25%, I was losing money for every sale. But I was like, well, I'll make it up on the back end. That was my thought process. The problem is that I'm not funded by other people. It was my own money. So I had to figure out a way to make money on the front end. And so, what's up, Morgan? Hey, Drew. I'll answer that question shortly. What's up, Daniel? And so we were testing it, but it was like clunky. It's kind of like there's better testing tools now than there were, 5 years ago. And so I literally got out a pen, paper. I told my team to export me, and we were testing this. We were testing this thing, but we didn't have. How are you losing money? Ads been too high. My cost to acquire was too high, and it was about a 1-to-1 break even. But I wasn't factoring in my costs of my product, right? And plus, I was buying inventory, so that's how I was losing money. And since it was a custom formulation, I had to buy stuff 8 to 12 weeks out, so it was a little tricky. So anyway, long story short was, because you want to be hitting 101.3 is your minimum return on ad spend. You want to be hitting a 130% return on ad spend. So if I spend $100 to get a customer, my revenue should be 130 minimum to break even. Once you figure out all your fees, costs, refund rates, customer service, all that kind of stuff. That's the best wiggle room, okay? By the way, yeah, I drop ship everything and page order only if you do that. I'll answer some of these questions at the end, yes. Anyhow, so that was the change. That was the change. I just gave you 3 of them. I can end this webinar right now, and I just gave you enough good advice that should easily double your business if you actually implement it. And here's the deal. On that next day, I told my team to switch all the traffic over to this new funnel, even though I couldn't get like a conclusive, this is beating this, but I just did money math. And I was like, oh, we got 50 customers yesterday and then 20 customers through this new funnel. And all the ones through the new funnel were, the average transaction size was like 230 bucks, 250 bucks. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Something's broken. So I double checked it, and boom, switched it over. And the next day, bam, 230, bam, 230. All of a sudden we're profitable by like 70 bucks a sale. I was blown away. It changed my life, changed everything. And within a few months, we're doing 1.7 million a month, and we're off to the races, okay? So that is our sequence that had worked back then. That still works today. The only caveat that I would tell you is that The only caveat that I would tell you is that video sales letters require a different level of skill set. It's harder to go into that game out of the gate, which is why I love what Facebook has provided for all of us, is like Facebook video ads. So here's an example of like Facebook video ads to lead generation. This is Sean Hadsdale from Get Lean in 12. He does these amazing videos. You want to see a good example? Does these amazing videos. 6 ways to control your number one hunger. Well, guess what? He drives them to a landing page. Here's their landing page. He opts them in, and then he follows up with them and sells them supplements. It's for other people. More courses, all these things. He does extraordinarily well. This is so easy. This could be a 1-person shop, 2-person shop. Get a whiteboard, give advice, and boom, you're up and running. This is very easy to do, okay? The other thing is, you want to go big? I'll show more Facebook ads in a little bit. Number 3, giveaway campaigns. Like if you have something to give away, like a sample of a product, or like protein bar, you're giving away protein bars, you're giving away smoothie stuff, whatever it might be, powders, joint pain relief stuff. Figure out, ask yourself, how do I give away something? 7 days of blank, right? Cookies, we give away a lot of cookies, buddy. Every single day, we're giving away cookies, killing it. Giveaway campaigns. So here's one example of Thrive Market, which is a huge business. Their unique selling proposition is to help people save 25 to 50% on healthy groceries, right? They're like a marketplace. But they did some really cool direct response marketing. I want to show you. They're doing like 4 million visitors a month. Okay, I use similar web app for that. And here's how I get all their traffic. I'm going to kind of hurry up. One of the things I go through is I look at where they're getting all their traffic from. It's one of the things I teach in the course. It's their Facebook audiences. But here's one of their ads. So I found out one of their ads. They're giving away a free coconut oil, right? So claim here, boom. Now here's their lander. Here's actually their Nutiva one. Here's the one that I just showed you, Thrive Market coconut oil. And then look at it. It's just simple. Put in your email, get your free gift right now, and boom, get your free gift, get your free coconut oil. Now, they didn't just stop there. They actually looked at what were other people purchasing. So they gave away really raw honey. Boom, email. All right. What is Justin's almond butter? Boom, they give that away. Okay. Give this away. Extra virgin oil. Give it away. Now, they also do just basic lead generation, right? So the reason I wanted to share that example, I have a couple of giveaways I'll show a little bit later, is what type of giveaway or sampling can you do for your business that would allow them to test your product. Now, here's the super secret, is that people are not going to stop at your giveaway and not buy anything else. If they are sold on, yeah, I want a sample, about 70-something% of them are going to buy something else right out of the gate. That is how you get them to, that is how you self-liquidate your product and get customers at break even or better. And it's how you get a flood of customers right away. Review sites. This is number 3. Review sites work really, really well if you are familiar with like pay-per-click and you want to do this. This is a company called smarterreviews.com. So what they do is they run simple basic ads. Like before you buy omega-3, check this out. So they have a nice little review thing here. It goes all the way down, shows their product. Let me see. Let me actually exit out real quick. I want to show you something real quick. Is if I might have just paused my share. Boom. I'll bring up. Boom. There we go. All right, cool. So so Smarter Reviews, this is one of the things they do. They have like for vitamins, turmeric, probiotics, krill. I had a client that called me and he was struggling. He was trying to become a Facebook marketer, but he came from a PPC background. And we talked about his product. And I was like, well, your product solves this pain. It has these ingredients. Why don't you do a review site? Okay. Why aren't you doing a review site? And guess what? He did a review site, and within 30 days, he's like, wow, I've turned everything around. It's kicking butt, blah, blah, blah. Now, most review sites will either A, they'll monetize by sending people to their own shopping cart, which might be under another business's brand, like this one here, or they're an affiliate, or they monetize through Amazon.com. Like a lot of Amazon, like if you're an Amazon seller, well, you should have your own, let me see here, boom. I'll show you an example. of a site that is a really, really good, I think this is it right here, review site, and so much of their traffic goes to Amazon, right? So here's the review. Can you all see that? Here's the review, and it's like, read the review, check it on Amazon, check it on Amazon, check it on Amazon. So it's pretty amazing stuff. There's a lot of ways to do this. It's not that difficult, and you know, it's really powerful stuff. So anyhow, we'll get back to the presentation, but if you have a specialty in like PPC, or you can hire someone who has a specialty in PPC, you can create a review site for your products as well. Now, another thing is content-specific lander. So what these guys did, this is if you're working out, weight loss, anything like that, what this company did here is that they send people to video sales letters and landing pages. But when I looked at their traffic, one of the things I noticed was, and I'll go back to that slide in a second, one of the things I noticed was that they had over 1 million visitors a month in their traffic, okay? This shows their traffic. And what's really powerful about this is that it really grabbed my curiosity. I was like, wow, what are they doing, right? And so one of the rules, so here's one of the secrets I teach. I teach you something called the green light system, okay? And the green light system is something I learned from a good friend, Jeff Bussner. He's one of my best friends, does 70,000 leads a day, and he's an affiliate, and he's a media buyer, and he rarely teaches at all. But he said, look, and this is something we do in our training, by the way, guys, like this is so high level in the sense that it's simple, but it has massive amounts of positive results, like super highly leveraged, right? Is that when you look at a site that you're about to model, so we don't ever guess when we go into a product. We look for something that's high traffic, okay? So does this site, yes or no, say yes or no in the comments, have high traffic? It's over 1 million visitors a month, okay? The answer to that is absolutely yes. Number two, has it been over a long period of time? Because when you look at sites, one of the things people do wrong is they look at spikes. They're like, oh, that site's doing really good. Not necessarily. So this is over a 6-month period of time. Yes, it has high traffic over a 6-month period of time. It's doing well. Is it replicatable or duplicatable? So that's where we dive into their landing pages and we look at their sales process. And I'll show you some of their sales process right now. Is it transferable over to different traffic sources? And that's one of the things we look at. So everything I've shown you so far, like when I looked at Thrive Marketplace, when I built out something for No Foods, I replicated a lot of the stuff Thrive did. I didn't rip it off, but I looked at their opt-in strategy. I looked at their giveaway strategy, like, wow, it must work for this market. And so we do the same thing. So the same thing with this company right here. So then next thing I do is I go find their landing page or their ads, and I look at their landing pages. And I use SimilarWeb. It's a $30,000, I use SimilarWeb Pro. It's a $30,000 software that is used to reverse engineer and spy. It's a spy tool. And what grabbed my attention about these guys is that they use ads. Here's their ads, remember? And here's a female. And what do we look over here? There's a dude, okay? He's not even that good, like he's not even in that great shape, right? And then here's cartoons, right? But one thing I want to show you was that all of these landing pages inside the system, these are all landing pages. And no, these are all media buys, Drew. And some are Facebook, some are organic, so or some are native. So it doesn't. It depends on some of the examples I'm showing you. But this is like a lot of native advertising, and then max workout. So they have all different landing pages. Now let me show you something really cool. So when I go into their popular pages inside SimilarWeb, it shows me all these different landing pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11. These are all different landing pages. So this, Matt, I don't even know who Wesley Virgin is. Whoever runs this company is extraordinarily bright, extraordinarily smart. So they're customizing their messaging for each demographic. And when you click on it, so if I was here, the first, and I would show this if we were doing it, some of our live trainings that we go a little deeper on this, is that they customize each landing page that matches the ad. It's really, really sharp stuff. But this is an example of ad, landing page, and then VSL or some kind of sales page, okay? Also, don't just look in, so this is a great example of a dollar giveaway. So Dollar Shave Club sold for $1 billion, right? Dollar Beard Club, that's my buddy Chris Stoikos' company, 1.1 million Views. This one has 23 million views, sells for $1 billion. These guys are doing, I think they're on track to do 30 million this year. Dollar Beard Club, awesome dudes. And what do? They say, hey, get your free trial razor, man. Why is it a trial? I don't do trials in supplement space. I'm against it. I just think it's stupid. I think you can get people to join continuity, but don't put them in trials for that. You can do samples, bump them up to a monthly, and then give them a discount on it. Let them choose. But the reason why clubs work extraordinarily well is because, guess what? Or why this trial on this is they're joining a club. The whole sales pitch is a club. You're joining the Dollar Shave Club. So you can give a trial in this kind of space, okay? And when we do that, this is what their page looked like. Boom, the full page, build a better bathroom. So their strategy was lead product, razors, look at everything else we're gonna sell them, and then control the bathroom. Okay, here's their order pages. What percentage do you think take the $1 thing, which was the lead? Or what percentage takes the member favorite? I would put money on it that over 40 to 50% take the member favorite. So they went from a $1 price point to $10 like that, okay? And then they put them through a sequence, boom, 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 and then here's all the other products they're gonna add. And that was their bounce back. That was their welcome gift, by the way. Congrats, you've got 48 minutes of free shipping to shop even more. This is great. Dollar Beard Club. Well, they have a similar sequence, but then when you go through their upsell sequence, guys, because you know the upsell sequences and customization sequences are so important, okay? Is they can click on any of these things here to add, and it's presupposing monthly charges. And the other thing I think is really cool here is it's $1 a month or $4 a month. And then when they go to step 2, everything doubled. $7, $8. Go to step 3, and now everything's higher than that. So they went through a step ladder up, and then guess what? Choose accessories, right? $19, $5, $15. So if they could give away a $1 sample, you can get a $20 to $35 average order value on these customers if you do it right. We're doing the same thing in No Foods. I'll show, I go through, I don't show too much of that stuff in public because our goal is to actually destroy the entire bread gluten-free industry, and I want to be already 20 miles ahead of everybody else before the public. But I do share it to inner circle members. Number 4, survey funnel. That's number 5, funnel, survey funnel. So here's another company. Do they have high traffic? Yes or no? Yes, they do. Over 250,000 visitors a month. Over a long period of time, is that consistent? Absolutely. Boom. Here's their ads. Okay, we look them all up. Boom. Go to their landing page, and then all of a sudden they got 5-step questions. The first one is, are you a man or a woman? And the secret on survey funnels is always ask just micro questions. Only have 2 to 4 questions, in my opinion. You could get away with 5. Options, meaning you could have like 5 options on it, but you start getting a little crazy. You don't want them thinking too much. You want them going through it, so that when they get to your sales page, these things right here, if you're 35 and struggling to lose weight, they made that up, they did this customization based on the survey. Does that make sense? They didn't just, that's not blanket. Not everyone is seeing the same exact thing, okay? I'm gonna move forward. Now here's one Amazon example, because a lot of guys that come onto my training say, hey, I'm on Amazon, and one of the things that I want to share with you is that I'm on Amazon, but I'm looking to get off Amazon. So a lot of times we get a lot of clients that come in and they want to learn how to build funnels outside of Amazon. So here's just a simple one I found on a giveaway page, is that they're giving away this joint pain. So I'm kind of saving some of their thing. But at first I thought this was really interesting. I was like, oh, wow. I want to see how they were monetizing this. And then I saw this button right here, going to Amazon, right? So check this out. This is their traffic, pretty decent for a sample giveaway. And when I looked at my, this might be a little advanced, so bear with me, my similar web app on my desktop, it told me that all of the destination traffic, that means people that go to this page and leave, are going to Facebook. But then when I went into my pro account of SimilarWeb, it showed me that 28% of the traffic is going to Amazon. Is that not crazy? 28% of the people are going to Amazon. So these guys are offering a free sample giveaway for this joint relief cream, yet 28% of the people are clicking on this button and going to Amazon. Are you kidding me? Is that bait and switch? I don't know. I mean, there's no lie there. It's just saying, hey, here's another option. No, it's called giving another option. So is that a great way to grow your Amazon business? Give away, find a sample site, give it away there, and then give an option for people to just buy it today on your on Amazon. Number 6, webinars. So Dr. Axe, how many of you know Dr. Axe, right? He's becoming really, really famous. Well, he didn't become famous because Oprah put him on Oprah. He became famous because he used content marketing over a long period of time, and he's now using direct response marketing to monetize his audiences. And one of the things he's doing, I love this, is he's writing ads, how to fix feeling sick and tired all the time, drives them here to a webinar page. You're gonna get 30 to 50% opt-in rates on these types of pages, by the way. And what's amazing about that is this: advanced strategies to heal leaky gut and overcome adrenal and thyroid issues. Claim your spot, boom. This is automated probably. I'm gonna show you the 5 steps to heal leaky gut, 6 specific food triggers, top 5 best supplement foods, herbs, and supplements. So the question I always like is, and this is something that I go deep in, is like, hey, if you can get clicks that attract buyer intent, you are going to do so much better than cold marketing. So my point is that by them going on this webinar, they're giving him permission to tell them what supplements they should buy. And all he has to do is tell them to go to this shopping cart, and boom, people are going to buy. It's that simple. Don't complicate this, okay? When you go to long form video sales letters like we've been doing for 9 years that still work, but frankly, I'm gonna be very straightforward with you. Most clients who do not have a lot of experience doing that have a really, 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 really hard time making that work. It's a higher level skill set. However, if you can do a sales presentation, which we are happy to show you how to do it, in a video format or a webinar format or Facebook video ads, then guess what? You can leapfrog to the top because you'll be positioned as a specialist, expert, or celebrity within your marketplace. It doesn't have to be you. It could be someone you hire on Fiverr, you know. Here's a great example, taking this level. So here's more some Facebook video ads, right? So look at this. This is Nancy Lynn. She's with Smarter Nutrition, right? She does this video ad, about 4 minutes long, talking about the power of turmeric, okay? And so it has 26,700 shares. 26,000 shares. Are you kidding me, right? So for every $1 you spend on ads, you have 26,000 people sharing that with people. Are you kidding me? It's out of control. 3.6 million views. So you remember the days when, I don't know about you, but like for me, I used to look at QVC. I used to look at, QVC still exists today. And I used to look at Home Shopping Network, or I'd look at like Guthrie Ranker infomercials. And I always wanted to be in that business in some way because I was like, I know that's the way to make big money. Like you can make big money. If you can create one video presentation that is 3 to 5 minutes long, that sells a product that's really good, you can be off to the races, right? And it wasn't until just like this past year where I realized that day and age is now. That everybody on this webinar today who are watching this right now, you are in the day and age of where you don't need to go to Guthrie Ranker, you don't need to go to QVC, you don't need to go to any of those home shopping networks, you don't need to spend billions of dollars or millions of dollars and lose 99% of your money to figure out the 1% that works. You don't need to do that. You just need to know how to write a really damn good script for a 1 to 5 minute Facebook video ad, drive them to a proven e-commerce page, and know how to monetize them and use the upsells. I've already given you a lot of these upsells right here like that. So look at so what I do is I go find what's working. I got over 26 Facebook video ad links like this. All my clients get them, and they're driving them to like this page right here. Boom. And they're killing it. It's crazy. Now, there's some advanced stuff here that's going on too. I'll go back one more here. There's some advanced stuff that I'll share. I know when you go through these sequences, you look at their price points, but you want to know what percentage go and buy the 3 bottle, 6 bottle, 1 bottle, and then how many actually make it to the order cart. So then when you go through your own sequences, you're able to match what you're doing to what they're doing. Okay, that's how you properly model them. So these guys are amazing. Nothing but kudos. My buddy Drew Canoli has been killing it for the last 3 years. Now, Drew, I love Drew, but the reality is he was a guy who was building his thing in social media for probably 3 years, just cranking away. And then his company hit a pivotal point when Facebook came along, affiliate marketing came along, ClickBank came along, and they became the #1 top seller on ClickBank. But he's a master at doing Facebook video ads, driving them to a simple, this is a simple e-commerce page for their organic page. Now, listen here, write this down. The better job you do on the Facebook video ad, the easier it is to sell on e-commerce. It's that simple, okay? Master one, the other one's easier, okay? And so out of all the skill sets I've shown you, that is the, I've already gone through this part here. Okay, last part that I'm gonna tell you about, I'm gonna invite you to a training that's coming up very soon that I want you to be a part of. If you liked anything so far today, then stick around for about another 12 minutes. I'm gonna tell you about something that I'm gonna answer all your questions. But step 2 is this. The one thing that I like going deep on with clients, because this is where most people miss out, is I can show you all the tactics and strategies. I love tactics and strategies. But if you don't understand the potential of your market, one of the first things that we'll go through in the training is this, is to rank the potential of your market and identify the gaps in how you're actually approaching your market, okay? So the first thing we look at is this. How many customers are experiencing the pain? This is the potential of your market. So many people get this wrong, that the video ad is awesome. They follow the script. They got their content wheel, which is something we teach to create authority and build up retargeting lists. They got it all right. They're freaking dialed in. They got a good e-commerce page, but guess what they did? They target the wrong audience, and they target the wrong messaging. So what we do is I have a module where I'll walk you through exactly how to evaluate the market you're targeting. Because like me, I was working for about a year targeting the anti-aging space. Anti-aging is a good market because there's a lot of people, they don't want to die, they don't want to get old, but it's very soft. Like, hey, you know, I'm selling a supplement that prevents you from dying. Well, it's kind of soft. But if I say, hey, look, if you got high blood pressure, we have a supplement that can help you have healthy blood pressure. Well, the pain of blood pressure is that they could die tomorrow. They could have a stroke tomorrow. They could freaking, you know, those kind of scares make them very, 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 very likely to buy. And so what's the pain there? So in that market, there's millions of people. So what does your market have? When you look at a pain in your market, are there millions, are there billions, or are there thousands? And then you want to rank that. Are they willing to pay to alleviate the pain? So when we reverse engineer markets and products, those are based on pain, where people are paying to get the information. So we don't mess around with, well, no one's really paying it, but they're going to when my product comes. Waste of time. So you give that to you. Can you provide solutions to the customer profitably? This is a big one, man. When you're choosing your product, choosing your manufacturer, and building out your economics, a lot of clients, like I had one client come to me and he's selling a product that's phenomenal for $49. But when I asked him, what does it cost you to have a product? He said, it's $19.95. And I said, your cost is $19.95? I go, you can never make money that way. And he didn't like to, he didn't like that I told him that. I'm like, you got to split that product into two so that you got two products that are costing you about $9, which is still high. You want products around $7 or less. There's ways to defeat that. So I don't want to argue on that right now. But you want a 5 to 7 to even 10 times multiple on the cost of your product. And that's how you get the ability to go acquire customers using marketing, okay? So we want to make sure it's profitable. If it's too difficult, complicated, and requires too many steps, not going to work. What's the current size and the growth rate of the market? I'm looking for growth rates of the market that are pretty big and fast. So the gluten-free market's going up high. The paleo market's still growing. The keto market's growing. The moms who have kids that need to be losing weight, and diabetes market growing. Heart disease market. I'll show you some of the examples here. But here's like the category growth rates. And by the way, people ask me all the time, like, what, how do I find this stuff up? Well, you can buy research papers for a couple grand, $5,000, get like the very specific hardcore research papers, or you can go to Google and just type in like, what's the growth rate of probiotics? It's gonna tell you, okay? So like, look at the bread category, 42 billion, pizza, 40 million, Pasta, 4 billion, 30 billion in supplements. Supplements is just a gigantic market, still growing. 26 billion in exercise industry. The meal kit home delivery market's just going over 3 billion. It's still growing pretty quickly. And then the expert panel, like info marketing in the health and fitness categories, over $2 billion. It's growing fast, guys. So if you're an expert out there, this is a really great time for you to be looking at how do you start becoming an integrative marketer rather than this. I'm gonna skip that one. This is one thing I want to show you. There's something really positive is that internationally, these are all international countries. The growth rate, these are all disease lines. I flip-flop these on the wrong side. They're growing, they're doubling. 592 million people will be living with diabetes by the year 2035 in the world. The reason I show this slide is because you need to understand we are now in what's it called? Globalization, where all, and if you can imagine Amazon taking over and the internet, Facebook taking over and all these different social ways, our ability to sell to these people is only going to get better and better, right? So, and then if you look at the history of stroke, history of heart attack, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, hypertension, all of these are trending up at a ridiculously high growth rate. Is that good for the people around us in the United States and in North America? No, but it's really damn good for marketers who are trying to solve those problems, right? So if you're looking to be a part of fast growth rate markets and find your small little piece inside there or big piece inside there, this is amazing. Okay, gluten-free, I'll go quick on this because this was more particular to what I was researching before I dove into and invested a lot of money into no foods, is the growth rate is just out of control. 20% plus growth rates in a category is ridiculous because that's exponential growing. And here's all the non-dairy alternatives are growing ridiculously fast. People are becoming more health conscious. You want to be in this market for that reason. Sports supplements will be up to 12.4 billion by 2020. Omega-3s up from 1.9 billion. You think omega-3s are big now? 4.5 billion dollar industry by 2020. Sports nutrition market, which is different than supplements. It's the whole nutrition thing, protein bars, drinks, powders, all that crap. $37.7 billion. I have a drink right here. I'm gonna have it in a second. I got my little Fit Aid with me, boom, boom. And then we got probiotics, huge market. Is probiotics dead? No, growing. The other thing I look at a lot is passion and adventure-based. Like, look at, this was a slide I found for CrossFit. CrossFit grew so rapidly over a few year period of time, but they're not alone, right? They fill up stadiums. And then look at like Tough Mudder, boom, one of the fastest growing, according to Crane's New York 2013, number 2 fastest growing business, 0 to 73 million in less than 2 years. That's unheard of, but it's not too crazy. Quest Nutrition went from like literally 4 million. The president at No Foods, Yemeni Mesa, was one of the marketing guys behind that, and they went from 4 million in a year to 400 million within like a 4 to 5 years, man. I mean, billion-dollar company just like that, you know? Well, if you're willing, you know, and you can use this stuff in skin cream. I just shared a couple examples here, growth loss. Oh, one more thing before we open up questions. You got to have continuity. You got to have continuity because the hardest part is getting a customer, keeping them in your system. Very, very important. We're going to walk you through all that stuff right there. One of the coolest things about like No Foods, for example, is like, here was just one in May of this past year. Check this out. They did $60 million. They did over 1.2 million this year, or this last month. And that's how fast they're growing. It's out of control. So if you're looking for a company to invest in, let me know because I can connect you with the CEO before they go public. And this was their returning customers, out of control. I'm going to fly through this. I want to get, those are some order forms. I got to give you some, I got to invite. I'm happy to answer more questions and go through anything else you'd like to give me, but I want to make sure we go through this. So here's like give me 5 minutes to pitch you on my live intensive that I want you to be at if you feel like this has been valuable. If you feel like this has been valuable, if you feel like I can help you, then let me give you an opportunity to let me train you more because I've only scratched the surface at what is possible for you in this business, okay? So one of the questions is, would you like me to walk you by the hand, take you step by step, and show you the roadmap that I use to sell over $60 million and counting in health supplements and foods and info products. Giving you a special invite to 30 highly motivated people. 6 people over the last 2 days have already taken me up on this. So this number is no longer 30, it's 24, and ready to take their financial success and, most importantly, your time freedom with confidence to an entirely new level, okay? While impacting lives, experiencing life freedom, and getting the ultimate shortcut to health supplement, health foods, health product millions. Okay, I want to take you to our next health marketing intensive live. It's true. I'm decided to do this live again. We just sold out the last training. We have over 45 people in the training. We were supposed to cap it at 30, and then we let people to bring in team members, and I'll tell you about how that happens. You could bring some team members and guests. So we have 45 people coming next week here in Chicago, and then in February we're going to be doing this again, where it's going to be amazing. So the goal is to really give you massive momentum on your goals, whether you're looking for the next distinction or you're trying to get started on the right best practices model, okay? So here's the scoop. Every week, once you sign up, you're gonna be instantly put into our weekly trainings that I've already recorded over the last 7 weeks. They're brand new, they're 2018 customized, and they're ready to rock, showing real life examples of what's working today, black belt level best practices. The belief system is that if I'm never going to show you something when you're beginning, intermediate, or advanced, that's not going to work at the advanced level, because why am I going to teach you something? Like, you can go hack Facebook groups, you can go do like little tactical crap that's going to make you a little bit of money today, but you're never going to be able to move past $1,000, $2,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 a day plus range unless you learn the basic strategies of turning advertising dollar into money, okay? I'll be hosting a training that will cover 1 to 2 vital topics for creating a wildly profitable health business that will end with a 2-day live training with me personally and my some of my clients, which we have some of our platinum members that are coming to this training coming up. And then we're also having guest speakers that'll be coming up to the live training. It's gonna be pretty fun right here in Chicago. So it's really intimate setting. You're gonna be really well taken care of. Now, this is for you if you are an expert who has fans, a list, a message, but doesn't know how to get in the supplement business or food business or product business in the health space, but or you just don't know how to sell it. So you have a product. I mean, I have people right now that have been going from that are becoming clients that are like been hustling their products from trying to get into stores. They're in stores, but they're really not profitable. And so I'm gonna teach them how to get profitable. Or your current owner of a sub business who's really trying to go out, figure out how to go from 0 to 10,000 a month, 10,000 a month to 100,000 a month, or 100,000 a month to $1 million a month, or $500,000 a month. I mean, those are all different skill sets, but the reality is it's not rocket science once you figure out the first block and tackle parts. Or you're like me, you're an entrepreneur who has 0 experience in supplements or food or the health industry, but you have a passion for it and you have some kind of skill sets on before, whether it's in copywriting, traffic generation, e-com, or info marketing. The last person that we see a lot of is either like the Amazon marketer who wants to get off of Amazon only to create more security for their overall financial model and business. Now, while this training isn't for everyone, for a couple of reasons, I want to walk through this because it's not for everybody, okay? And first, it's not cheap. I'm literally going to be walking you through the system that's taken me 9 years to develop, and I've invested millions of dollars into this business, lost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars or more. So if you're looking for cheap, then you're thinking wrong, first of all, and I'm not your guy. You can go buy a ton of little cheap courses and guesswork your way around for the next couple of years, but the one thing it's going to cost you is time, money, and effort, and you're still going to be probably where you are today, okay? There's an old phrase of a fool can tell you the cost of everything, but a wise person can tell you the value is very, very true when it comes to this. If you understand that the most important investment you can make is in you and the system that you're going to create and accumulating the right information out of the gate, then you're thinking accurately. Secondly, if you're looking for me to do all the work for you, it's not for you. This is not for you. This is literally a, hey, here's the processes, here's my best practices, here's my best advice. Let me answer all your questions, and I will keep you plugged into what we're doing and what's working, but I'm not going to do the work for you. Okay, you can easily go to Upwork, you can easily go to Fiverr, you can easily just post on Facebook, like, hey, I'm looking for a developer, a designer, or a website guy to take what we're teaching you, and you can go implement it. But, you know, come on, You're smart enough to know we're not going to hold your hand and do it for you. I'm going to guide you, but I'm not going to do it for you. My best clients pay literally 25 to 50 grand or more a year. And these guys take up the least amount of my time. Why? Because they ask the best questions and they're busy executing. Okay. So I had a guy call me the other day, or he texted me, he goes, Ed, I have a question about Facebook ads and I just need a few minutes. Cool. Call me. Boom. You're on the phone. He asked me a couple quick questions. And within 7 minutes, we were on. I answered his questions. I'm like, do you need anything else? He's like, no, got it. Thanks. Appreciate it. Got to go. Boom. He was off thing. Why? He had stuff to do because he's busy getting shit done. Right? So that's the kind of people I like working with. Will I hang out with you? Will I have a drink with you? Will I have coffee with you? Totally. Anytime. Totally easygoing. Okay. I had another client of mine that was doing over $1 million a month. And I asked him a few questions. I said, what's your average transaction size? He told me his average transaction size. I went through a couple things, and then he went and to give him total credit, he tested the crap out of it for about a month, and then he dialed it in. Boom. Increased the average transaction size by $17. That is an awful lot for a advanced pro. He is a pro, okay? And he bumped up his average transaction size by 17 bucks. And then guess what? He's off to the races. And you might not think it's a lot of money, but let me tell you this right now. If you're doing, say, 100 bucks per sale, or like I can't give you the average transaction sizes of what we're doing for No Foods right now, but if we bump that by 17 bucks, which is, guess what? Our only focus right now, we literally can go from 100 sales a day to 1,000 sales a day. Why? Because if you're losing a little bit of money on every sale and you're able to increase your average transaction size by 15, 17, 30, $100, total game changer, fellas. Total game changer. So if you're looking for those kind of distinctions, you've heard my story before about how we're doing 200,000 a month, jump to $1.7 million a month. This is the stuff that you're going to be getting with the distinctions. And I did that with one simple breakthrough. These are things I'm going to give you so you don't have to go through a long and costly learning curve that I did. Now, hey, if you want to do that, I'm totally cool with it. The gap between you being where I am at and your ability to generate an extra $10,000, $20,000, or $100,000 a month with just little distinctions is simply a gap of having the system for generating highly qualified health supplement customers who are buying from you and having a customer journey of 3 to 5 products out of the gate. You got to have it. You got to have 3 to 5 products out of the gate. From you literally on day 0 to day 30 is the thing that's going to change your life. Now pause for a second. What I just said to you was, the thing that's going to change your life more than anything else that you could possibly working on, possibly doing, is having a predictable system that generates profitable customers and a customer journey that allows you to make them very profitable from day 0 to day 30 within your business is literally the most important asset you can build in your business. I mean, what are you willing to spend to do that? What are you willing to do that? How long are you willing to take to do that? And those are questions you got to answer. Because listen to me right now. If it took you a year to do that, but you figured it out, and then you were able to generate tens of thousands of dollars, either on a daily to monthly basis, to provide total security for your family and freedom for the rest of your life, how long would you work at that in order to get that done? Now, it's not going to take a year. It took me it took me about 14 to 16 months online to totally figure it out, okay? And like right now we're running campaigns on Facebook, and yes, it takes a little time to figure out, but guess what? We usually start out right around profitable every single time because we're using the past data to move into the future data, and we're using the past data on the audiences to move to the future. So once you have that experience and you have that knowledge bank, you have such an advantage. We'll show you exactly how to do all that stuff. So one last thing is, I just shared, okay, so this show you, boom, okay, I'm moving forward. I'll show you how to do this and do much more of this in the virtual training, which is automated online, and then also the live training, which is personal, which is me, intimate experience in this intensive training that you'll literally be equipped to like a world-class pro. Now, before I do, can I share with you why I love this business and why I've invested in amazing, why I invested in No Foods, right? I think it's an amazing company, and why my entire business and life is about disrupting and building profitable business models like this, right? So my past life is I ran the highly successful dental marketing business. And the thing that was awesome about it, a lot of money, autopilot, but the thing is my weekends were taken away. And when we had our first couple of kids, I said to my wife, look, I'm not gonna be working on the weekends. Like, I'm not working on the weekends. No one get a hold of me on the weekends. You can text me all you want. Actually, you know, it's funny is if you were a client and you had a severe emergency on the weekends, you can actually text me and I would get a hold of you. But I have games all day long with my kids. I'm working out. We go enjoy wine. We love life. I mean, it's our life, right? So I wanted to do that. So with the supplement food online business, I only teach online business. I don't mess around newspaper, don't mess around newspaper ads, don't do, even though No Foods is in 1,000 stores or they're supposed to be by the next month, that's not my forte. If you want an expert on that, I can advise you to go to other people. I love online businesses because here's what I want to know. Someone asked Jeff Bezos, hey, can you tell us what's new with Amazon? And he said, you know what's so funny is we get that question every single week. What's new on Amazon? He goes, you know what we like to think of is like, what's still going to be here in 10 years? And how do we become the best at it? So I've made up my mind. Facebook is going to be around in 10 years, okay? Advertising, digital advertising is going to be around in 10 years, okay? Customer acquisition funnels are going to be around in 10 years, right? So check this out. If you feel like you want to do something that's going to make an impact and you want to be a part of something that has that every year and every week and every month you work on something, it's only going to build exponentially the impact, then why not choose a business model that allows you to grow and get better at it? So 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the road, you are self-sustaining and you are growing your net worth and you're growing your life freedom on your own terms. So I like time freedom, money freedom, and choice freedom. And as you can see with my kids, I love it. And I think the health business online, whether it's the supplements, foods, info products, gives you all three. When done, absolutely right. Now, reasons why this business is the best business, in my opinions, is that, look, it's built in presupposition that they're going to buy from you more. So customers who buy on auto renewal and repeat purchases equals predictable income. Okay. Now you can set up a sales process. You can learn the skill sets. You can do it all right. And if once it works, you send health traffic to it and boom, you have wealth. What's his name? Kiyosaki, who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, said, financial freedom is once your continuity income surpasses your expenses, you're really financially free. Now, is that totally true? I don't know about that, but I like the thought process behind it. And these businesses give that to you. Scale is not about hiring more. Oh my God, I can't believe it. If you're, raise your hand, I guess, where you're at and say, look, I don't want a lot of employees. My dental marketing business, we got up to 19 employees. That was way too many for me. When Marine D3 was at ultimate scale, I brought in and I had all my tech guys in-house. That was the stupidest thing I could ever do. Now, tech guys are always subcontracted. I never bring them in full time, ever, okay? Because I could buy 20 hours, 30 hours of their time, and they could still be remote. And so, but coming full circle on this is that I mean, you can have a few employees. We have a few employees. They're great people. I love them to death. They're like, I love these people. But our leverage is in the online customer acquisition process. It's not in employees, okay? So number 4, you can escape the time for money trap. Monday, my kid was on a church ski trip. I'm sitting there drinking my coffee. I got him off to the bus at 6 a.m. I went back to bed for like an hour and a half, got back up because it was Martin Luther King Day and it was all this great stuff. It was a holiday. And so it was all this great stuff. And what I did was I said to myself, I'm like, why am I sitting here? Why am I not with my son? Why am I not skiing? Like, I mean, I love being outdoors. I love being physical. What the hell am I doing? So I said to my wife, man, I should have gone with Mike today because it takes 2 hours to get to the mountain or the hill because we're in Chicago. And she goes, why don't you go? And I was like, really? I mean, you serious? And I was like, cool. I jumped in the car, took off, did a few phone calls, and boom, I was on the hill within an hour and a half of having the idea. That was total. Now, my business didn't make less money because I was gone. Does that make sense? So number 5, you can sell the business. If you're someone who wants to properly build your business to be sold, you can do that as well. Number 6, you can impact other people's lives while getting rich. These are all amazing things. Is it all sunshine and rainbows? Is it like, oh my God, is it? No, it's not. You got to work hard, but you have to learn specialized knowledge and you got to be introduced to the right people and you got to know the core 3 or 4 skill sets that make money in this thing. But if you don't want to do that, then really this is not up your alley and that's totally okay. However, for me personally, freedom and control for me were way more vital to me than hitting some bumps and bruises along the way. Okay, because that only made me better. It'll only make you better. In the $125,000 I lost out of the gate the first time in the health supplement business, because there's people out there who, you know, are willing to take your money if you don't properly do this right. So that's why I'm running this training. I love coaching entrepreneurs. I love being a part of it. Someone asked me yesterday, he's like, well, Ed, if Marine D3 is so successful, if the food stuff's so successful, why are you doing this? Well, it's really easy for me. Number one, I'm always looking for strategic partners and and affiliates. So we'll promote your products. You can promote ours. I'm always loving that. We need more people in this space that are doing things properly and working together. It's the only way to grow. Like, you don't have to work together, but No Foods is always looking for affiliates. So that's a benefit there. Number one. Number two is I have some opportunities on my plate that are allowing me to have access to billion-dollar opportunities. And so my goal with our coaching club is to teach my guys how to do what we're doing at the next level. We've created a media company of online acquisition for these billion-dollar startups. And so the coaching club is great. Plus, I make great money. I like doing this. This is so natural for me. I've been rambling for about an hour and a half, and I could do this all day long, okay? So this is something we've been doing for 9.5 years. I like helping people. I like making money, and I would love to see some of you being like my stars, my superstar students who are my clients forever. You know, that's kind of the goal, right? So here's the deal. Be one of the next 24 to respond, because we've already got 6 people, and we're only taking 30 people to this special invitation. So for your own benefit, stop what you're doing here in a second, because I'm going to give you an opportunity to go. Sarah's going to post a link in about 1 second, and because this will sell out. Let me cover what it'll go, and then I'll answer some of the questions. I see all the questions coming in, and ask your question as you want. So here's what we'll cover over the next 7 weeks or so, and in the live training, right? So bear with me here. Number one is the real story behind how we sold over $60 million in health supplements, how we're currently selling supplements and health products. Now, I'll tell you something really, like, I give away so much free stuff, but the reality is there's just some stuff I'm not going to share in public because, guys, frankly, it doesn't really, it's not going to benefit my company or No Foods or Marine D3 or my Platinum guys if I'm giving away literally everything free. So I give a ton away for free on purpose because guess what? We need to give value before we ask for money. I believe in that. But you know, there's things you're gonna learn at the intensive that guess what? You're just not gonna learn here. Number two, how to match your winning product to a winning market. This may sound obvious, but as I said earlier, this is where people get really, really, really lost. And I want to walk you through exactly how to do it the proper way. If you don't have a product yet, or you need some validation on your idea, it's worth the investment into the intensive to get validation on your idea. Like, you know, I've spent 20 grand going to consultants just to have them look at my business plan and just to get validation on it, okay? If you don't have it, just ask me questions. Ask the group questions. Ask anybody. You know, people are so worried about getting ripped off that it's the silliest thing in the world. Chris just asked, how do I sign up? We just posted the link right inside of the group, and I'm going to be rambling for a few minutes and take questions, so you don't have to hurry, but there are, you know, it's 24 spots left. So that's why I'm holding this exact event, and you'll receive the exact checklist that we briefly went over before that kind of gave you an idea of how I choose a market and how I choose a product. A lot of people get stuck in this spot. So this is where we spend a lot of time helping people. And then also, even if you have a product, I'll tell you one thing too. One of my guys was like, hey, one of my best clients right now was like, hey, we're trying to figure out a new funnel for our second product. I'm like, no. Your first product's not even dialed in yet. You're making money, you're kicking ass, you're doing amazing things, but grow this. Your lead product can be a multi-million-dollar, 8-figure business alone. And your second, third, fourth products could be 20% of that. Trust me, grow it. If you have one product that's working, quadruple down on it, okay? Number 3, how to identify and create a positional, okay, this is where we get into your messaging, okay? Number 4, the green light system, the reverse engineering process. I'm gonna walk you through this system that I use, everything I do on how to reverse engineer precisely what's working. Now, you saw those examples of the video ads and stuff I showed you here. When you come to the live event, I'm going to give you the playbook on every single one of those, plus transcripts of their video ads, and then links to all their pages. You're going to get it all. They're going to hate me, but I don't really care. They're not paying for my kids' college tuition, and they're not paying for your kids' college tuition. The beauty about the internet nowadays, if you know what you're doing, you can reverse engineer what everybody's doing right now. The mistake is if you think that if you don't know how they're making money and you try and model it, you can get absolutely crushed in this business. Number 5, winning offer structure for maximum conversion and maximum dollar amount. So number 3 was, this will be about the messaging, how to do the messaging for maximum conversion. This is about average transaction side and positioning to get the average ticket as high as possible. Number 6, traffic mastery. Once you have your product and offer created, you'll need traffic, okay? You need to know the basic recommended strategies for Facebook, YouTube, and Google Display Network, and now native advertising. Heck, as well as email. So those are 5 different channels. You'll start with one, and then you'll start rolling out to each one. I'll give you the Rolodex, the contacts, the people that will help you get live and get you making money and take care of you and protect you and make sure you don't get raked over the coals when you, a lot of people like hire agencies for like 10, 25 grand. They're afraid to spend 5 grand on learning the right system, but they'll go hire an agency for 10 grand that wastes 30 grand. It's craziness. Your responsibility to your business is to understand customer acquisition systems and understand traffic enough to be able to have good conversations with people. Number 7, my favorite, right? How to build an affiliate army. It's the best source of traffic for guaranteed profit, but everybody wants to go to affiliates first. You got to know how to approach affiliates, and you got to do everything else I've already taught you. You will be positioned as a pro. They will love you. You got to know what affiliates want, how to make it easy for them to work with you, and you'll absolutely crush it. So I'll help you with all this stuff, but you got to be able to do it. Number 8, back-end mastery, and this is where all the money is. Want to know how to double, even triple your profits? Then you need to know what to do on the back end. So you'll receive my top 3 proven back-end sequences that will more than pay for this training. So there's one sequence. I got to get the slides. You got to show me this, Sarah, that shows how these moving forward. That I wrote in 3 hours. We run this campaign 4 times a year to my existing list, and we generate between $15,000 and $30,000 every single time we run it to my existing list. It's just a 4-step campaign, and I'm amazed how most people don't utilize it. It works all the time, and I give it to my clients. I'm going to give it to you. You're going to love it. Boom. Plus, you can ask me anything you want at any time. I mean, literally anything you want at any time. Ask any of my clients, or anybody who knows me. I'm probably one of the easiest, this is the only braggadocious thing I guess I'll say this thing. I'm one of the easiest going people you'll meet. There's literally nothing you can ask me that would surprise me or should make you feel embarrassed. If you literally have frickin' tax issues, if you have other issues like IRS issues, like if you've made mistakes in the past that you're embarrassed about. I mean, we've had guys that, I mean, I've heard almost every single story. So there's nothing you can say to me that you should ever feel, and I won't judge you. We won't make fun of you. I'm here to help you. So if you're in a bad spot, you're trying to get a good spot, but you want to, like if your business is struggling, I've been there in all those things. Let me help you, okay? So my goal is to take 30 clients through this and watch you explode your business. And frankly, if you do, my belief is you'll join my other coaching clubs, possibly consulting. If your business is the right fit, possibly for our agency. We're only taking 3 clients total, and their goal has to be to disrupt a billion-dollar industry. And Alex just registered with a guest. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it. Cool. Love ya. And this is just part of my motives. I mean, I like being around people. I love this stuff, okay? Business is booming on my end. I love doing this. I love reverse engineering things. I love teaching people systems that seem complicated in a really simple way and breaking stuff down, okay? So, you know, and early on, I'll tell you, like, one of the things is if you look at all one thing that's really important too is like if you look at all the biggest supplement companies, like I know most of those guys, and I remember when they were all starting out. And so the starting out part is the hardest part, or you're doing $500,000 a year or 1.5 million a year. And you're like, God, we're like right there, but we're not right there. I feel you. I've been there. I see questions coming in. I'm going to answer these questions in literally a few minutes, okay? But once you start making predictable sales and getting your margins properly and you get the profit coming in, all the fun really starts to begin. Now, the hidden benefit is that you will also get to meet my clients. Like platinum guys can come to these for free. They can send team members for free, and as well as learn from some of the experts that I'll bring in, plus the rest of the group. So why did I pick 30? Because I could probably add 70 people into this group. 30 is a good number to where everybody in the room, there's enough diversity of businesses, but you also get to meet other people, but it's not too big. And you get intimacy with me, my clients, the coaches I bring in. Yeah, I know the guys at BioTrust, Dennis. I know the guys at Straw House, BioTrust. I know all the media buyers for all those companies. And there's other companies like the guys over at Agora, you know, they're doing all amazing things. For example, the company I invested in, No Foods, is taking off. We're doing over 1.73 million, 3 million a month. And I've decided to take, so people always ask me, it's like, well, what are you doing? I believe that you need to double down in what you're invested in. And right now I'm invested in that. And our goal is to get it to 500 million a year. And if we can get to 500 million a year, that company's worth billions of dollars. And I'm heavily invested in that company. So if I can help do that with my skill sets, that just drives me up the wall of excitement. Like, I'm freaking excited about that. I saw someone just raise their hand. I think it was Travis. I'll answer it in a second. So during these trainings, you'll get to see behind the scenes of the split test I'm doing, what we're doing at Marine Essentials, what some of our clients are doing, what some of the things we're doing for this country project we got going on, and what are we doing for No Foods. And so let's see what my elite clients are doing. So this is really exciting stuff. So where else can you get this level of coaching? It's not out there. I know there's a couple guys trying to teach you guys how to be in the supplement business, and with respect, it's harder than they're making it sound, and the methodologies they're teaching just don't work like this. So it's just truth. And personalization. I'm not going to write all your copy, but I'm going to give you proven sales letters that work, and I'm going to coach you along all the other core elements that'll really make it work for you. So that's why I only want 30 in the room. If you want to wait this one out, not a problem. Not a problem at all. But just know that it's going to sell out, and I don't know if it's the last one I do, but it might be. And what's the investment? So it's $5,000. Okay. I don't know if it's a lot of money. You can break it up into 2 payments. I don't know if that's a lot of money for you or not. So let me get to that. Or you can pay in full. I'm rambling. Sarah's gonna yell at me. And save $500. Okay. You get a $500 discount for paying in full, or you can break up in 2 installments, $2,500 a piece. So is that a lot of money for you or not? I don't know. But let me briefly explain why I believe it's actually the least expensive $5,000 you could ever invest in yourself and happily spend. First, for perspective, I spent $7,500 to send my children to a Catholic, each one of my children to a Catholic grade school. Secondly, I send one of my daughters to a $40,000 a year school because it's a private school that works with kids with complicated learning profiles, which means she has dyslexia, right? Secondly, which is, by the way, it's awesome. Best $40,000 I spend a year. We're the happiest things ever. She loves it. We're thrilled by it. It's a good investment in our family. College, you know, you spend $800 on average. I know it's higher than most places, but if you add all that up, you are still hoping after a real world to get a real world education that you can actually show up and something is going to make money and give you true freedom. And third, if you went out and got a franchise, it would cost you a minimum $35,000, and at the end of all the training, all the licensing fees, and all the royalties you got to pay out, you still have to learn how to get customers. Like, it's the marketing still will fall under your lap. So if you're looking for a greener pasture, like, oh, well, I'm just going to go do this somewhere else or whatever, listen to me. This is the greener pasture. This is the lifeboat. This is everything that you could ask for if you want to be in this type of business and you're willing to commit and willing to work hard to do it, right? So my first attempt on this, man, I literally lost $125,000, $150,000 in literal dollars in 6 weeks. Lost my merchant account, lost so much because I trusted the wrong people, listened to the wrong people. And it's not about just losing money. It's about losing time, right? So for fifth, even better if you put all your money in the index and hope to make 10% over the next 30 years, go for it. It will eventually help you retire. But if I stick on that for a second and put $5,000 into that, next year it's gonna be worth $5,500. The year after that, it's gonna be worth like $6,100. The year after that, it's gonna be worth $6,700. I mean, you're gonna get rich really, really fast doing that strategy, right? No, you're not gonna do that at all. But the reality is that all those strategies I just mentioned, you still have to hope that it's going to work for you with someone else's involvement, and you are placing it on other people. What I like to convince you in is to believing that all your freedom, money, and power goals can be met by simply 3 things. Identify a hungry market, create a winning product and customer journey. Step 3, turn advertising dollar into profit. So if you take any one of those 6 strategies, those 6 funnels, 7 funnels I showed you, they're all working for people. You pick the one. I have a really unique way of showing you which one you should pick. And then I follow this framework. You have a 99% better chance than everybody else out there who's just guessing and doing a ton of shit that does not work. You know, you can go on Facebook right now, you're going to get distracted. You can go on YouTube, you're going to learn it like a million different ways to make money. This is the simplest path to getting the thing that you want to make an impact with while making freedom, money, and do it. So that right there is the system for wealth and freedom. Will it take work? Of course, but we are in this together. You're going to be with my teammates together, my coaches. You got our coaches will bring in there. We got my elite platinum guys that will be there. And this is why we do it, man. I do it for my crew, all my kids. I got to update that number. And you know, we love traveling. We love doing things. I never miss an event. I don't want you to be missing events, whether it's family, whether it's your own solo thing. Doesn't matter to me. You deserve the ability to make the choice and the freedom of it. Okay. So with that said, if you want to invest in things, I'm going to flip to the end here. Boom, 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 boom. Just a quick recap. All this is easily a $25,000 value in and of itself. Plus you get a 2-day boot camp and you're going to go through these other things. So I'm going to skip some of this right now. All right. So if after all I did was give you a few of my traffic and conversion strategies and the experts and they show you the best strategies, if all I did was let you in on the conversations of my best clients, my best, all things we're doing with No Foods, who combined are doing tens of millions a month, what would it be worth to you? If all I did was provide you the window into the new high-level relationships that make a small pivot in your life, what is that worth to you? So that's it. The clock has already started. We're down to 23 spots. 24. No, another one just came in. So now we're at like 21 spots, and I'm not making this stuff up. This is really things. So you're going to receive a 7-week virtual health supplement, health food, health marketing boot camp, and intensive, plus the Q&As. Number 2, we got a boot camp here in Chicago for execution, focus, and advanced training. So we're going to get stuff done. You're going to walk out of there with a game plan, with assets and excitement and confidence. Number 3, the most up-to-date what's working now funnels in all of the channels. So Facebook, Google Display, native advertising. I'm seeing thank yous come in. Thank you guys, right? PowerPoints, videos, ads, creatives, links, really help you leapfrog. And all you have to do is choose your payment and reserve your spot for now. So I'm gonna take a few minutes, take about 7 minutes right here, answer questions, and we'll be good to go. I see Sarah. Sarah, can you repost that link so people, I got it right here. So we don't have to scroll, and we want to be able to see it. Thanks, Sarah. That's awesome. All right, I got some questions coming in. Why stay away from newspaper ads? Jason, great question. Because newspaper ads, the perception is, and I've spent millions of dollars in the newspaper ads, so I'm not talking just out of theory, okay? Okay, I got things. The misconception on newspaper ads is that you run the ad, it converts, you can scale it. I've yet to meet anybody who has, over a long period of time, been able to run 1 or 2 newspaper ads profitably, consistently. Okay, I'm sure they're out there, but what I want to tell you is that it's another complicated business that requires you to manage call centers, which is a pain in the ass. There's nothing more frustrating than dealing with call centers. Dana, I see your question in here. I'm going to get to in a second. It's pain in the butt. They're awfully hard to monetize on the back end. Those are my big reasons, and they're awfully hard to scale. And number 4 is you have maximum exposure. Now let me tell you about that. So if you run an ad and you get one of the best copywriters in the world to run the ad for you, like on probiotics, testosterone, whatever it might be, cognitive stuff, diabetes, all the claims that you make in that ad are now in print, and they're all over the world. You lose control of it, and now they get even put online. So it's just, you know, imagine your marketing going in a USA Today that goes into the hotel room of the Attorney General of California's wife's bathroom, and she's reading it, and she walks out to her husband. She's like, "Hey, honey, this can help with my blood sugar." And he looks at it, and he's the Attorney General of California, who I know for a fact hates these types of businesses, especially if they're misleading people. Okay? And all of a sudden, that Attorney General is pissed off and coming down your ass, right? So just gotta keep that in mind. I don't know, exposure on that's bad, and I'm sure somebody would have an argument on it. God bless them. Charlie Stivers. Hey, Charlie, what's up, man? Thanks for being on. We are in the hemp and CBD supplement niche. It's prohibited ads and landing pages mentioning CBD. What would you recommend? Yeah, CBD is tricky right now, man. So the best way to go around it, that I'm giving you some hypothetical advice right here. because I've given this advice to a few clients that are in that space as well, and so I would need to be updated, is you target the pain point, and you target like through a, you create a lander that is giving away a giveaway, like a 21 ways to lower inflammation in the body or help with XYZ. And then in that, you have to, on the back end, introduce your solution. But it would be, right now, man, it's just tough. I mean, none of the networks are allowing you to do it. So I would generate a lead. And then the other way you could possibly do it is to follow up via phone calls. Like get a lead, put somebody on an automated dialer that they calls them and saying, hey, and you can do it. Also, here's another way to do it, is after you get a lead, you could always say, what solutions are you open to? And then they'd have to click on the button, like I'm open up to like hemp, CBD or whatever. But yeah, it's a little tricky. So I would try some things, but the other thing that I'm just kind of, I want to caution you a little bit on is a lot of guys are having trouble with merchant accounts, just so you know. Joel T asked when the next one is. We don't have one scheduled right now, buddy. I'll have Sarah follow up with you. So guys, I have a few more minutes. So if you have a question, please let me know. So Dana asked me, any way to use this system if I'm trying to find a better way to market an MLM supplement line? I'm bucking the MLM process. I want to step out of the box. The product line is excellent. So, yeah, so I don't teach, just so you know, Dana, I mean, I buy Advocare products. Like I love Spark. I love a couple, you know, I'll buy MLM products, but I no longer will go in a downline or start my own line or do anything like that. I just won't. And the main reason is that it requires, for me to make money in that model, I have to have other people do stuff. So the only way my system would work in, I believe it would work in an MLM process, but not unless the company allows you to have your own funnel process and your own control over the sales process. Because once you, I mean, if you look at most of the online marketing, like, hey, go to my page and it's coded with Ed O'Keefe on it, and it's under like whatever, Body for Life, I'm just making that up, .com/Ed O'Keefe referral, and it's usually these crappy pages that people are supposed to be buying. So my belief system is you use the system that we teach to create an online process that makes you profitable or allows you to generate leads, because you can lead generate too, and then educate people, build a Facebook group, build an audience, build a community, and then sell them those products by teaching them products, teaching them how to like get a result, and then the result, the logical solution is these products. That's the best way to do it. I have one client that does that, by the way. She does like 30-day boot camps inside her system. She teaches people how to eat well and all these positive things, and then she sends them to her own thing, like her own multi-level marketing company. I think it's kind of, I think the more intelligent thing is to send it, you know, take the products you like, create your own product line eventually, and just send them there, so the margins are totally reversed. Do we pay for supplements up front and ship ourselves? What about using a manufacturer, drop shippers, and paying as ordered? Well, you can do, so a couple of the companies that we recommend people go to, that you could do on-demand purchasing. You're welcome, Dana. But you, they require a minimum, you know, like people like on-demand purchasing has become more popular, but even those companies, like and really one thing people don't realize, it takes the same amount of effort from a company to create supplements on their line, to create 3,000, 5,000 bottles as it does 50. Like it takes the same amount of time. Maybe it takes a little more time to like, you know, to actually produce them, but not a lot. So they have to do a lot of the pre-work, all the same pre-work. So what they try and do, the reason why private label companies are really important is that they group like say 10 marketers together, like they're all getting like same fish oil, and so that they can build 5,000, 10,000 bottles. So if you're like trying to ask them to do all this custom work, well, they can't do it. So yeah, you can do it. You just gotta play by the rules a little bit, which could be a little tricky, but not really. I mean, just, you know, if you know, it's all good. All right, cool. I have like, someone asked about delayed billing, wouldn't do that. If you want an MLM supplement company and want to white label and convert to online marketing, will this work? Well, yeah, that's what I just recommended. So like what I would take like, so like if I was an advocate person, I was like, wow, I love Spark, I love all this stuff, and I'm doing my own, and I'm building my own audiences. Why am I making 8%? Why am I making 8% versus making 80%? I mean, you got to have costs in there, but you know, you don't give up control. You're giving them the product, you're giving them the customer, and plus you got to do all this crappy work. So I'm way more into like, well, eventually just do your own thing. You know, why would you do that? Now, unless like a company is going to pay you a larger percentage and it's worth it for you to just send them to other people. A lot of people do that as well. Guarantees, this is my recommendation on guarantees. Do a 60-day guarantee. That's 60-day guarantee, because somebody asked that question, because I would personally do a 1-year guarantee, because the longer the better, but most merchant accounts are not going to allow you to do that. So we've always settled in at 60 days. It's kind of more than 30, gives the customer, you know, 2 months. And do I pay celebrities to market our products? I've never really paid celebrities. I have paid doctors, and we have a whole formula that we do for that. It's a longer discussion. We do discuss it at the intensive because it's a longer discussion, because it talks about goals of the business. Do you pay experts? Do you just go to Fiverr? Do you go to Fiverr? Do you go to Fiverr and just get somebody for $350? Test them out with your script first. Maybe a good idea. Maybe worth testing. If that works and you're killing it, then you go like, man, it'd be really cool to test it again with a celebrity. Well, then now you have the money to go pay 15 grand, 5 grand, 10 grand, get a B or C level celebrity, what that your audience would recognize, right? That's the way to do it. Those are badass tips, by the way. Hi, joined webinar 45 minutes ago, missed this. Yeah, we went through that. I don't know if we were trying to record this the last 2 days. We went live and we recorded. It didn't record, so we made some tech arrangements. It's something that I did on my end, totally my fault. But it is recording today. We will post this. Yeah, guys, I think I'm out, man. We did 1 hour and 45 minutes. Hopefully this is really valuable for you. And I think we're good to go. So I appreciate all of you for being on. Hey, man, one thing I just want to leave you with, do I ever sell at a loss or back end to gain a long-term customer? Sure. Yeah, but it's got to be built into your economic model, and you got to prove it out before you scale it. Okay, it's a big, big, big decision. It's got to be very strategically thought through, and you just got to think about the economics. I try and get my clients and myself to profitable cash flow wise out of the gate as possible, because when you do that, I think people underestimate cash flow. And I think a lot of experts tell you like, well, you can lose money on the front end to go profitable on the back end. That's not a good business model, man. It's not a good business model. I know really successful gurus who are teaching seminars with 1,000 people in the seminar who are horribly cash poor because, yeah, Proactive's a $1 billion company, bro. So if you want to go, Drew says Proactive goes negative for 5 months. Yeah, so does Agora, but those are like $1 billion companies. So the people that I have on these trainings, 9 out of 10 times, or no, 99 out of 100 times are not $1 billion companies, right? So like, for example, obviously when working with bigger companies that are trying to disrupt like big ones like that, Boardroom has gone 3 years. Yeah, they've gone 3 years, but I don't think they do it anymore. I think they're trying to get a little more profitable nowadays. Usually like with Agora, they'll go negative 3 to 6 months because, that's a huge advantage. But you guys don't have to do that. Like those companies also are not innovating at the rate that guys like me and you are because they don't have to. So how much money are they wasting going so negative? Like Proactive's still on TV everywhere, right? So if they got to go negative 5 months, maybe they should spend more money online and doing more video online as well. So I don't know, maybe they're not thinking it. What's support after the live event? You'll have support opportunities. So the $5,000 is 7 modules and 2-day boot camp. That's what you're paying for. That's what you get. If you want to get more advanced coaching down the road, you have opportunities to do that. But everything I'm promising in this will be delivered at the end of the boot camp. You will have it. and you'll have all the trainings to go back to, and you'll have that experience recorded as well from the intensive. So that is what you're paying your $5 grand for, $4,500 for. It's a fair deal. It's more than a fair deal, and so that's what you get. So there's no real big promise on what you get afterwards. You'll get an opportunity to get more advanced coaching and more intimacy with what we're doing on an ongoing basis. So it's 7 weeks, which is 7 modules, but since they're recorded, we'll front load a lot of the training for people that are coming out here in the next intensive, so that they're not. Can we get hard copies of all the info in the seminar? Sorry, you might have touched on it. Yeah, we'll have hard copies of everything. Plus, you'll get. Plus, we will get. You'll get the PowerPoints and stuff like that. Is there a weekly Q&A? No, there's 2 Q&As a month, and then plus you're going to get 2 free months into our Silver Inner Circle, which is $397 a month, which is our Silver Inner Circle group, and that is something you'll have an opportunity to be a part of after the live training if that's something you may be interested in. So no pressure on that. So that's it. I'm out. You guys are awesome. Tons of stuff here, and I appreciate you. All right. Thanks so much. Bye.